Good holiday weekend. Bruce here from Targeted Wealth Creation. I'm doing a little bit different video with this. I wanted to do a broad appeal. My subscribers are going to enjoy this, but you know some of this. So what I'm looking to do is to show what's possible. Okay, so this is all about generating $40,000 a month, okay, on less than $384,000 investment. So obviously the percentages are going to work. Just lower the amount invested to calculate the distribution. And then further, these funds are going to vary based on their payouts and what price you come in, but I'm prepared to help you with any of that should you want that. So I've got my spreadsheet here, and those of you again that follow me, you know I love the spreadsheet. So I'm just talking from that. So here's something I do. This is the model. I've been a Coney fund buyer since January, and I've been in Misty a little bit after inception, but still. So what I showed is an average price of Coney at $26, right? Coney's currently trading on 520. I can't even remember the date because all these holidays, but my formula is using 527 today, right? But going back, it's $23.66, right? The reason this total return formula calculates from the days owned and then days owned and then calculates it. So is it possible to make $40,000 a month on an investment of $383,292? I'm living proof. Go check the numbers. Anybody who doesn't believe this, go look at the YIELDMAX site, verify their payout amounts that I've done, and then go take a look at charts and see if it's possible to buy these stocks at these prices, right? Now, they're funds going different ways, right? So Coney, having been bought at $26 back on 12/15/23, allowed me to get the following payouts, right? I got $2.69, and some of these are rounded, right? And then other ones I'm showing all the way out with the 4 digits. It's the way YIELDMAX pays at the 4-digit level. This one may have been 00. I don't know. So anyway, that gives me an average payout of $2.10. Okay. And then owning 7,371 shares across the last 5 months, okay, allowed me to collect $15,482 on Coney. So how did I do in terms of, let's just look at that one. So that contributed 15,000, right, on an investment. This is just the math of 26 times 7,371. So Coney and Misty were both bought at the same price, $26, right? It's just that I bought Misty on 3/1 and its first payment was in April. So go to the YIELDMAX, go to their website to verify the payouts above. So this is how to make $40,000 a month on a $383,292 investment. What kind of annualized and total returns? Is there any NAV reduction? Well, there can be NAV reduction, depends on where you bought the stock price, right? And whether you dripped or reinvested the shares. I can tell you that I did not drip. I didn't reinvest a single share. So I still receive these payouts and still have the current NAV, right? In one case, I actually lost some money on the share. So I'm honest. Here's a $26 purchase price. Here's the current price. So on this $191,646 investment, I'm down $17,248 on NAV reduction, right? So what does that mean? So here's the fallacy that I find in people analyzing their returns. Well, first off, did you analyze the return? Because to give an accurate or to give the real number, you need 12 months, right? I mean, you need an exact period. Well, there's formulas to go out and annualize it based on the amount of days that you've owned the asset, right? And then you calculate that out across the year, which is exactly what this kind of formula does. So that says if I carry that forward, I have an 18.93% loss that's annualized, right? Well, let's go look at my yield. So I collected, right, an average of 210, but it actually across the 5 payments was $15,482, right? That's how much I really collected. And is this even, yeah, so if you go through and you do all the share counts, that's what you'll come up with. This is just simply multiplying the shares times the amount of that monthly dividend to get to my 15,000, right? And then I also did it for Misty, right? So anyway, the yield came out, and I needed a couple extra things in my formula here, right? So in the yield side, I needed to know how many days I owned it. All I had to do was put the day I bought it and give it today's date, right? And I did that for both, right? So that says 164 days and 87 days, right? So when you look at these annualized numbers, they use a 365 divided by the amount of days. Okay. So having done a lot better, you know, my purchase price on Misty was 26, and it's currently trading at 34.75. So having the same amount of shares, I had a gain just on my shares of 64,000, my 191,646 just on the share value is up, right? So if you annualize that, now am I going to keep growing at that same rate? Probably not, just like I may not lose at the same rate here. And then what's my yield going to do for me, right? 160%. So you can see these two added together. I'm getting better than 100% annualized yield. I could have added the two together, right? And since they both have the same investment amount, that would give me about 135. I didn't actually run the number on the two together, right? But I know that that's what it would give me, right? It would give me about that number. So that's pretty awesome, right, to get that kind of money. So I just wanted to make so that I can go out and put a video and say, how do I generate $40,000 a month on under $400,000 or under $384,000 investment? For those of you that follow me and listen to my, you know, what's the payout going to be on, you know, YBIT, on Misty, on Coney, you already know and understand. But I wanted to reach I wanted to reach out to a wider audience, right? And you almost have to clickbait, only in this case it's really not false. There's not a single falsehood here, right? Anybody can go out. Now, in some fairness, let me show you, I've been in Coney 5 months, which is an absolute truth, right? So my 5-month average is $2.10. Coney's been in existence for 9 months, right? And it's paid an average of $1.90. So you could go in here and substitute, you know, $1.90 for your estimated period of time, right? But just like anything, you know, you could have bought Coney at $19, or you could have bought Coney at $30. 30's been the extreme high, and I think Coney may have gotten down to 17 or 18. Anybody can go out and look at a stock chart. But anyway, I'm doing this as kind of a holiday weekend thing, as an experiment to see. Um, and feel free, for those of you that are my subscribers, I did get my Discord pretty much set up. So I'll be talking to you about that this week. But I wanted to get out and get my subscriber count substantially higher. I want to get to 1,000 in the next couple of weeks. I figure I'll probably get there at the end of June, but I'd like to get there quicker and monetize this, because I got a lot more things I want to do for you guys, and which involves selection of which funds. For those of you that already listen to me, you know what I like and what I don't like, right? But the intention of this video is for entertainment and education, and for people to see what's possible. You know, your grandfather would go out and buy Coca-Cola and get his 4% dividend yield. Well, peoples, look around you. You know, 4% won't even handle the 10, 15, and 20% realized. Go out and look at John Williams' inflation stats. You know, his inflation number is probably like 12%. Look at your automobile insurance if you're in the United States, right? Look at your rents. Look at your property taxes haven't been hit, but just wait, they will be. Well, you know, whatever governments can do, because some of these states are going bankrupt. The feds had the ability to print money. So anyway, I won't get into all that, but you need 20 to 30% just to beat inflation, right? Not 4%, not 5%. So some of these tools that are out there, they're real. People ask me all the time, well, is this fraud? Is this a scam? And I go, well, a scam like Bernie Madoff's? No, it's not. They don't take your money. But you know, young people, they go out there, they buy the wrong fund, they buy into Tesla after it's gone up 40 times, and it drops 30 or 40%. And they lose 40% on their NAV, and they get a couple payments, and they said, hey, I'm behind, right? Well, did you look at the charts? Did you look and say, remember, you want to be bullish. If you think the NASDAQ is going to get cut in half in 2 months, and you go out and buy a tech fund, then think about that, right? Misty and Coney were crypto and primarily Bitcoin oriented, but Coney being a marketplace for crypto and exchange, right? Whereas Misty is all about MSTR and all about how much Bitcoin that MicroStrategy owns and how their corporation put their entire treasury into Bitcoin. They're the single largest entity in the world as a Bitcoin holder. I think it's like 17, 18 billion worth of Bitcoin. So, you know, you have to know what you're buying. I'm not going to tell you every YIELDMAX, but I think it's pretty safe to go out and buy YIELDMAX and get a 30, 35% return. But if you think the market's going to go down 80%, then maybe it's not. But I can tell you some funds that are there early on now that I think will do fantastic over the next 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, almost regardless of what the market does. So anyway, that's what I got for you. I think this is super exciting. Every time I think about it, all my subscribers know I love it. So I'll let you go. Have the rest of your holiday weekend. Again, this is Bruce. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. See ya.